Happy welcome, dear Simon, to our newest episode of Ask the Founder. We are talking about all the advantages that Future Multiverse offers, the unique selling points, and we already had the hyper-realistic and the multidimensional. We had the 2D to 3D change, and we had the jumping between 2 points within the Future Multiverse by a click. There are 2 more or 4 more or whatever. We have decentrality, and we have the worldwide network, and we have the payment gateway, fiat crypto, plus the very well-known partners that we have on board. Today, we want to concentrate on the decentrality and the worldwide network. What are the advantages of this, and why are these unique selling propositions of the Future Multiverse a network? Many people have a network, so perhaps you can bring some light into these points. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the questions in today's interview. So I'll start with a quick summarize on decentralization, let's say the decentralization element of our platform. So first of all, what our approach always was is to empower individuals, but also, let's say, any company or let's say any government entity, anyone, to have a solution where every interaction that they have in the internet or with anyone in the world, that they can remain ownership of their own assets, what includes not only their, for example, blockchain-based assets, or let's say, the ownership contract of, for example, your real estate property, which is common sense for everyone, but how about your own data? So, for example, if you look at large, let's say, technology companies that have very large user base, usually individual users, they not necessarily own all the data that they have, remains or belongs to them. They don't have, let's say, the full management control, or let's say the full ownership of that. And specifically when we're talking about, let's say, a 3D environment where you can have your own hyper-realistic avatar that looks even more real than you, or that looks exactly like you, and you can, and this avatar can make connections with others, can go into business with others, can share informations of different kinds, and have interactions of different kinds. Then it's super important also when, for example, a certain product is represented by a company, or, for example, imagine head of state of a government basically is entering into a meeting, or any person in a specific role. Then it's very important that the person on the other side can be for sure that this person is the real person, that what it looks like. And that's why we, for example, have incorporated KYC and KYB systems, and also possibility, a real way of how that, for example, only specific devices, you can register specific devices to your account. And then basically the system can know, okay, it's for sure you. So we have 2-factor, 3-factor authentication process so that people can log in and can be, let's say, ensured that the person who's using that account is really a person really connected to that account, basically. So point one. And imagine, for example, not only avatars. So as we have the possibility with our design production studio to create a hyper-realistic design and, let's say, 3D functional game engine file, empowerable, connectable, trainable with AI, so that basically also this avatar can run fully automatic on AI, all functions. Same with any shop, store, or any vehicle or whatsoever, an entire shopping mall, all the processes from how do the doors open, left to right, in what angle, in what time frequencies, everything, like every specific detail, what we have already shown many examples. I'm going to show more. All of these information are certain functions. It's code, and it's specific, let's say, informations that belong to the company or the individual or anyone who's offering that. So how we have solved that is we've built our exhibition, and every single land plot on our exhibition that can be purchased only during our pre-launch or public launch, or then rented by companies. And we have more and more requests now also by very big players globally. And we're going to make more announcements to that soon, who are very interested in specifically leasing out land to their client bases, big client bases on a regular basis. So every single land plot is connected to an API, and we have specifically developed hardware device in-house, which we're going to bring into the market soon. When we create a 3D functional game engine file, which is hyper-realistic and fully functional, when we deliver that to an individual, meaning the avatar, or design file package of a shop, a store, whatsoever, then we delete it on our part, and we 100% deliver it to the client, to the user, so that you, for example, for your avatar, you have full management and ownership of your data. If you lose it, then we gave it to you. We don't have any copy of it. only if you told us, basically, please confidentially keep a copy, safeguard that for the possible situation that you lose it, why ever, then basically we can have an individual agreement that we do that, but then it's fully confidential and secured.
You do not work with my data. My
Exactly.
data are my data,
Correct.
are my data,
Correct.
are my
And
data.
they belong to you, and we don't do anything with it, period.
Okay.
And only, let's say, if you tell us specifically to, let's say, keep a safeguard copy of it, so that we, in the case you lose it, don't have to do all the job again, and you don't have to pay for it again. And then basically in our hardware device that we've developed, we've specifically built it in this way that your 3D fully functional game engine file can be hosted, managed, and can run on this device, and can be synchronized and connected with your own large language model, means your own AI that is also running on that device, and then can be streamed to our platform via API. So basically, you can disconnect the API at any time. If you, for example, when you own the data on your device and you say, for example, you want to take off the data from the platform, or you simply want to log out from your device with your avatar from the platform, you can simply disconnect the API if you want to, or when you log out, you can disconnect the device, and then the data is completely erased from the platform. We don't work with those data, and you have it in your full own control and management, which is very unique because let's say no other platform, or let's say there is no other platform right now available that people can go in and they can say, I want to live stream my 3D functional AI empowered hyper-realistic business environment to an exhibition where I remain the full owner and manager of my own data and can disconnect it at any time. There's no other platform that actually offers that.
That's why we're here, unique selling points.
Correct. And then basically also in that device, there is a blockchain node integrated. So because every land plot is also an NFT, and there's a whole reward sharing or revenue sharing system tied to that from our platform. So everyone who owns a land plot is an actual owner, can then basically also mine the coin that is actually in the ground of that land plot. And that basically also can be staked after. So basically there's a blockchain node also integrated in that device. So we're converging all the different technologies, including the possibility that you can just disconnect your own data you just pull the stick out, and then basically data is completely erased from the platform. This is something that has never been done in this way. This is very important and key because many people are talking about Web3, for example, and there is so-called metaverse platforms calling themselves decentralized, and in a, let's say, Web3 way, but all they're actually referring to is, let's say, the blockchain layer of it. Basically, when your account is plugged in, you can basically connect your own wallet and then potentially make, let's say, cryptocurrency transactions on a, let's say, plugged in decentralized exchange. But that only, let's say, refers to the fact of tokens or cryptocurrencies that can be exchanged. But the actual 3D file of your avatar that you're interacting in those environments, they're not really decentralized. You're not, let's say, streaming them to the platform, and you're not in actual control of the data and the interactions, etc. So that's what we have solved, and which is actually, let's say, the so-called Web4. So integration of AI, let's say, or the synchronization of 3D VR with AI, with blockchain, with all of those new technologies, but then making it hyper-real way through the browser, decentralized, available, fully scalable in a truly decentralized way it's a big breakthrough, because you can just Google for Web4 and everyone's saying, this is a technology still in development and in the making, and we don't know when this is actually accomplished. Through our platform, people can actually use it. So, and the thing is, for our perspective, we have a bigger vision, let's say, in purpose with that platform. For us, it's not just, we haven't built that, just to, have a platform that we can monetize from, what maybe is the goal for others. But we really have, so many amazing solutions and projects and entities worldwide that are able to create so much impact. And we basically have the possibility to give people from all over the world access to those solutions, use it for their own life or for their own business to benefit from it, but created an entire ecosystem so everyone can plug in, use it, benefit from it, and create value for others and reach more people around the world. So yeah, the decentralization part with that is so important, because we're, let's say, for example,
before we come to the worldwide network.
Yeah, so a few days ago, I think it was the last opportunity for people to, for example, for Meta, Facebook, Instagram, for social media platforms that are owned by Meta, to basically make an objection, basically, or let's say disallow them to use your public information on Instagram, Facebook, or let's say also chats on WhatsApp, for example, for the training of their own AI. Now, you can now go in WhatsApp inside a group chat and you can ask for advice from Meta AI. And this means that Meta AI, for giving you advice on a specific chat, has to basically evaluate all the informations that are in this chat. Now, the thing is, you didn't even have to allow it to be integrated in a technical way into your WhatsApp. Now, what we have done is, in comparison, and maybe not everyone has understood what that means. It basically means that if you don't tell Meta, or let's say, Meta, in fact, that they can use your data and have access to it, analyze it, etc., then they just automatically do it. And in our way, what we have done is, all the data that we created for you, we don't own, we give to you, we delete on our side. Then you can store them on your own device, and where you can manage them and stream it to our platform and via API and disconnect it anytime. So it's fully owned by you and it's never actually managed on our side. And this is so important when it comes to the